So today, we have Sonic from his two movies taking on Quicksilver from the Fox universe. Who wins? Let's find out. So, before we talk about the obvious big category that they share, speed, let's talk about everything else first, and we'll get back to speed. We'll finish the video off with speed. So, Sonic is strong enough to help lift a giant stone pillar while underwater. One-shotted drones was able to brawl with Knuckles and sent people flying. And as a ball with momentum, he easily destroyed an armored vehicle, flipped it over onto its side, and pounded Knuckles deep into a stone staircase. He's ignored being hit by a missile, remained conscious after Knuckles sent him flying through a wall and a TV, and then through another wall, being smashed through a stone ceiling, and he's withstood explosions and great falls. You get it. Also, tied to his emotions, Sonic can emit an electromagnetic pulse, and once one of these has reached a satellite in orbit. This EMP knocked out the power grid of Green Hills and knocked out power across the entire Pacific Northwest. Tails even detected this energy all the way on his home planet. Granted, he can't just emit this amount of power without being in an emotional state or without running a lot, like really fast, like he did around the baseball field. But it's still incredible, and he can still emit this on a much smaller scale. He also released, with a simple clap of his hands, enough energy to send Robotnik's egg pod flying. Uh, just one of his quills allowed Robotnik's egg pod to match Sonic's speed and short-circuited his entire high-tech lab. Sonic can also just emit this blue electrical aura around him, which has disabled incoming missiles. Also, just tapping into this power seems to heal and re-energize him as well. But in the other corner, we have Peter Maximoff, Quicksilver, and he's strong enough to easily send people flying, even ragdolled Apocalypse all around with his punches as well, easily. And because of his metabolism is so very, very high, he recovers from injury very, very quickly. He's been sent flying by the Phoenix, and he was still having his leg and arm broken by Apocalypse, and he was just fine later on. Yeah, not very long, just a few moments later, like his legs weren't even broken, his arm and leg anyways. Also, due to years of fighting alongside the X-Men, Peter is a more skilled and experienced fighter than Sonic is. But now, let's talk about speed. Who is faster? Well, both are insanely fast to the point they have similar scenes where everything else around them is in slow motion and they're kind of goofing around as they destroy everyone. Well, as a kid, Sonic could run across his entire home island in just 2 seconds, casually played ping pong by himself, ran from Green Hills, Montana to the Pacific Ocean and back in 3 to 4 seconds, dodges several super fast punches from Knuckles, and he perceives the world in incredibly slow motion, as he's made people, missiles, lasers, bullets, and drones seem like statues. He took out a bar full of people within a second while having fun in between, and he's jumped around and easily danced around a barrage of missiles and drones after purposely letting them get very, very close to him. He completely dismantled and took down a speeding van before it could hit a kid in like a second. He apparently ran hundreds of miles across an ocean and even moved so fast that Knuckles appeared in slow motion. And even he's very, very fast. But while we could list all of Peter's feats, I think we should just focus on his best feat, which is the exploding mansion scene in Days of Future Past. He saved everyone except Havoc from that massive explosion, making 21 trips while goofing around, and the explosion itself was going at a speed of 6,000 meters per second. And he did all of this in less than a second. That means he was traveling at about, 174 miles per second. This puts him, at best, casually running at Mach 816 speeds. And since he was joking around, he wasn't even going all out, which means he could go even faster. But I want to circle back to Sonic now, specifically his feat of running to the Pacific Ocean and back to Green Hills in just 3 to 4 seconds. Assuming that Green Hills is right on the western Montana border, that would make the ocean 480 miles away. And going there and back in 3 to 4 seconds means he was traveling at least 240 miles per second, which means he ran at least 1,126 Mach speeds. That's faster than Quicksilver's best feat, and by a good significant margin. Add in the fact that Peter will have a hard time even hitting Sonic because of his electromagnetic powers, and Sonic will be taking this W. I do think Peter is fast enough to fight Sonic, but not fast enough to beat Sonic. And I know, Peter was goofing around during his best feat, meaning he could go faster, and I believe he can, but I don't think he can go that much faster. That's like 300 Mach speeds faster than Quicksilver's greatest feat. I'm siding with Sonic at the end of the day. Like and subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a comment of what you think and hit the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos and all the great stuff. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.